Hi everyone. Today we are going to study about controlled experiments and experimental setup. So when we design a practical, we need to identify a problem and take some observations and go for some hypothesis. And then we need to prove this hypothesis, which one is correct. To prove a hypothesis, we possess an experiment. So when we possess an experiment, we'll follow several things. What is controlled setup? Controlled setup is the experiment setup which is designed without supplying the testing factor. For example, if we check whether carbon dioxide is needed or not, we will not supply carbon dioxide for this exact. For example, if I want to check a fertilizer is needed to the growth of a plant. So what is the hypothesis? I need to check whether fertilizer is needed to the growth of a plant. So how can I check it? So first what I should take is, I should take two equally sized, grown and aged. Equal size, equal grown, equal health. Also the plant should be in equal species. For example, if you take croton, two of them should be croton plants. And then you should supply the same type of soil and same amount of soil and same amount of water. You should supply it every day. For example, if you supply once a week, it should continuously given. Also you should give all the factors. Sunlight, equal amount of sunlight should be given. So now these two plants have the same possibility to grow. So you can check a plant needs sunlight, water, soil. So what we are doing is, we are giving them, providing them equally. Now we are going to add the checking or testing factor. So what is the testing factor? That is the fertilizer. So now what I am doing is, out of these two, I am supplying the fertilizer to setup A but not for B. Okay, so I am supplying it for A but not for B. So here we call B as the controlled setup. So after some time you can observe that plant A has grown very well but not B. Okay, the plant A has grown very well but not B. The meaning of it is, what is the meaning of it? We can simply go that the fertilizer is increasing the growth of plant. Why? We gave the same factors for A and B, but out of A and B we supplied fertilizer only for A but not for B. So therefore controlled setup means we should not supply the testing thing. For example, here we supplied, here we want to test the fertilizer is needed or not. Therefore we didn't supply fertilizer to B but we supply it to A. Therefore this B is the control setup and A is the experimental setup. Okay, so a very simple thing, whenever if you want to check something, a control setup mean we will not provide that specific factor to that setup. So the other one is experimental setup. Okay, so at the end of the practical we can come to the answer that setup A is grown very well, therefore the fertilizer increases the growth of a plant. Understood? So there are two things. First one is experimental setup and the control setup. Control setup mean the testing factor should not be supplied. Okay, for hereafter we will study about the carbon dioxide is needed or not. There will be two setups. Out of these two setups, one will be provided with carbon dioxide and the other one will not be provided with carbon dioxide. The setup which is not supplied carbon dioxide, that is what we call the control setup. Okay, and the other one is experimental setup.